Mortified here. Today I wanted to talk about a serious problem within the MGTOW community. An increasingly more toxic and cancerous problem that grows in potent toxicity every day. So without interruption, let's begin. Back in the earlier days of the YouTube community, MGTOW used to be about philosophy, intellectualism, pragmatism, and about a deeper understanding of the social, psychological, and physical plight of men in society today. This used to be the case from the early years of the community from 2009 to late 2014. But fast forward to the time of 2015 and forward beyond, and you now have the almost polar opposite of that. Intellectualism is traded for pseudo-intellectualism, obsession over talk of genetics, race, IQ levels/differences, and the oh-so-typical parroted regurgitation of sub-90 IQ mongrels from third world countries is coming to rape and destroy Western countries. Pragmatism is traded for borderline retarded delusions of things like quote-unquote all-male countries or lands, NAWALs, saving Western society, restoring patriarchy, and putting women back into the kitchen. The deeper understanding of the male plight is traded for insane ideas of risk management and proposing that the imminent and dangerous risk of an ongoing fire be managed, reduced, manipulated, or used to gain some underwhelming benefit. In this case, these purple pill retarded faggots are suggesting and encouraging the idea of you managing the overwhelming and demonstrably high risks and dangers of women. These psychologically and clinically insane men want you, with your knowledge of the searing flames, to go to the frying pan, back into the fire. Then most importantly, the greatest attribute of the once great YouTube community, philosophy, has been traded for political ideology. More repetitious insanity of left-right paradigm obsession, more obsession of the feminists, more obsession of Islam and third world countries conflicting with the values of Western society. This transaction of genuine philosophy for political ideology is the biggest crux of the problem that afflicts the men going their own way YouTube community. Instead of having intelligent conversations with one another where we can agree on basic facts, it's become increasingly more difficult to do that. Their political ideologues and their batshit insanity have infected this once promising community with their toxic and corrosive blend of obsessive political AIDS and fruitless warring over what man is an SJW, what man is a quote-unquote leftist, what man is a quote-unquote fascist, what man is a quote-unquote racist. These political ideological horizons have created the great corruption of many male minds. We see now, with constant, relentless regurgitation of talking points, ad hominem attacks of, quote-unquote, you're an SJW, quote-unquote, you're a racist, obsession over political opposition, and literally hold that moronic opinion that a man can't even possibly enjoy life in Western society because of the leftist cultural Marxists. These corrupted minds have lost so much of the plot of the MGTOW philosophy that it's no longer about going your own way. It's about being a part of the hive mind, Borg mentality, agreeing with everyone, holding the same opinions, and repeating the same talking points. No longer does the red pill remain the glasses worn for the perception of these people to see through, but the political ideology become the glasses. No longer does the conversation with these people remain objective, free of political biases, but it becomes, did you see what the feminists did the other day in London? Or, did you see what those SJWs at Stanford University said about the president? The topic of the discussion is constantly about politics and social issues that tie into politics, never any objective shit free of personal belief, or talk about living happy lives, doing hobbies that make you enjoy life. No, let's talk more about these politics, like we're Politico or NPR. Point 2. Who remembers the older times of MGTOW back when MRAs were getting exposed for being gynocentric and anti-MGTOW only to dox Barbar and Stardust? There used to be a time when the quote-unquote monk represented the majority. The community was tightly consistent with the philosophy. The bulk of content creators had new or rare insightful thoughts, and we weren't so caught up in the ideological bickering and fighting of the entire feminist debate and insanity. Nowadays, if you look for a MGTOW video, the search results are bombarded by political themes and talk of SJWs, feminism, politicians, the fate of Western society, cultural diversity, and more fear porn of Islam is coming, Islam is coming, Islam is coming, run! The YouTube community has been so oversaturated with the same old political commentary and talk that most MGTOWs couldn't even recite to you fully what MGTOW is about and just give you some bullshit vague saying of, it's about going your own way and doing your own thing, man. The content quality of this area has been so oversaturated with politics that the new school couldn't even tell you what gynocentrism was without saying the words quote-unquote feminism or quote-unquote SJW. These people's understanding of what truly MGTOW is so shallow that they've gotten disconnected from the mission statement and the tenets of what MGTOW are about. The bulk of them don't actually get into the philosophical aspects and understanding what MGTOW even is. They're like angry MGTOW. They agree with MGTOW and the arguments of MGTOW on an emotional level, grasp the surface level ideological shit related to MGTOW, but they don't do the actual introspection of the MGTOW truths, internalize the teachings, and fully apply them to their lives, or develop the deep philosophical teachings of MGTOW on the general biological species level. They can barely recite any historical events that happened beyond 100 years ago that MGTOW knowledge can be thoroughly applied to. Overall, the new school are so directionless, led astray by the political hive mind that they don't fully understand MGTOW or the philosophical realm that MGTOW is. This is a reality, thanks to the waves of traditionalists, MRAs, and anti-feminists coming to this community, peddling their bullshit agenda of saving the West. Who's to blame for the young and new school being so directionless are the turd-flinging monkeys, Sandmans, MGTOW 101s, and other prominent MGTOW that do this for the money and subscribers. The majority of the prominent MGTOW don't even genuinely believe or have a stock in the ideological agendas that they spew and spout out of their mouths. Two wonderful examples are angry MGTOW, who doesn't even live in Western society, and made a live stream talking about buying gold, and MGTOW being a gold mine.
Angry MGTOW here, and today I'm explaining the reasons why MGTOW is a gold mine.
Current gold right now is about $1,000 right now.
And the reason why is because MGTOW is men. And you're getting that group of men who have a high disposable income. I've run different YouTube channels over the years, but there has never been any other brand compared to MGTOW that has such a high earning ratio.
I don't really care if Western society goes to shit anymore. I'm just trying to make as much money as I can and also buy some gold. I'm just trying to make as much money as I can and also buy some gold.
I'm just trying to make as much money as I can and also buy some gold.
Turd-flinging monkey, on the other hand, wants to make a fucking radio show, like Tom Leykis.
One of the things I'd like to do is turn my office into a professional studio. Actually soundproof the shit out of it so that you can't hear my neighbors. I don't have to record in the fucking middle of the night. I'd also like to get a green screen along with a chroma key green bodysuit. That way I can use my puppet in TFM news videos. Actually use like the green screen to create a newsroom behind me and actually make it look like an actual news show. I think that'd be fucking awesome. But the green screen, the bodysuit, turning my office into a studio, all that's gonna cost money.
And has on multiple occasions said that he doesn't give a fuck at all what happens. He even made a video series to further elaborate on his apathy for life. Point 3. There you have it. Political and feminist obsession. dumbing down of intellectual content, the erasure of anything that has deep philosophical meaning, and what you're left with is another community. Womb is robbed of its deep well of philosophical knowledge, left only to pointless and meaningless regurgitation of political talking points, obsession of whatever women are doing, and borderline TFL anti-feminist content. As MGTOW ages on, the lines that separate and distinguish it from merely being another common ideology are blurred. Shady, sketchy people from highly questionable backgrounds are attracted and drawn in like moths to a fire, and the intellectual content gets closer to borderline mental retardation, parroting with those with agenda outside of the philosophy and courage. Let me ask you this, the viewer viewing this video right now. Is this what you want or wanted? Did you want overzealous, money-hungry, greedy, parasitic people looking for a good monetary come-up to cash in on what you know to be a charitable thing, only to be reduced to lousy, effortless, political regurgitation slowly pulling you back into the matrix? Would you want a house full of rats, roaches, and rodents crawling around, dirtying and infesting your residence? Well, guess what? MGTOW's YouTube community is just that, a once beautiful, intellectually stimulating paradise of philosophical nuggets, reduced to a toxic cesspool of corrosive people, corroding everything they touch. The MGTOW community those of us older males came to enjoy from years ago is no longer more. It's just another breeding ground for rats, roaches, and rodents under the banner of traditionalism, conservatism, anti-feminism, politicism, and ideology to reproduce and spread their intellectual degeneracy elsewhere. At least now I understand why some older MGTOW have left the community permanently. Mortified out.